Hi guys, it's Ankita. Welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about how you can read more books in this year or the next, or whenever you decide to pick up reading. Now, these are some of the things that have worked for me, so I thought I might share them with you just in case you have set a very ambitious Goodreads goal like me. So the first thing that I would recommend you do is listen to audiobooks. Now I know there are a lot of people out there who do not consider listening to audiobooks as reading, but I do consider it reading. There are many people who are unable to read physical books, and listening to audiobooks is the only way they can consume books. There are some drawbacks of listening to audiobooks versus a physical book, but I'm not going to cover that in this video. So yes, listening to audiobooks has definitely been a game changer for me. Now, when you listen to audiobooks, it is very important you pick the right audiobook. You pick a book that is read by someone who is a little bit enthusiastic about reading that story. That's how I will put it. Because there are some audiobooks that are so bad that it can turn a really exciting book into something that is very drab and dreary. So you know how when you pick an audiobook, there's always this option to listen to the sample? Do make use of that before you borrow an audiobook. And I've seen so many booktubers who read 100 and 150 and 200 books every year. And one common denominator, and I'm not saying this applies to everyone, but most of them read audiobooks. They listen to audiobooks. So yeah, I've been listening to audiobooks for 2 years now, and that has definitely helped me to read more books, and it makes certain chores fun. Like, I listen to audiobooks when I'm cooking. You can listen to audiobooks when you go for a walk. I've not done that, but as long as you are careful and you know where you are going and walking, I don't see anything wrong with it. You can also listen to audiobook on your commute to work. So I'll recommend giving audiobooks a try if you haven't already done that. So the second way you can up your reading count is to read a genre that you like. Now, if you are new to reading, then this can be a challenge. It can be a process of discovering the genre you like, right? And unfortunately, there's no simple way to go about it, but to just try reading them. And if you know you like a particular book, try and look for books that are similar to those books. I think Goodreads does recommend you books that are similar to the book that you are currently reading. So basically what I'm trying to say is read what you know you'll like. It is a process to discover what you really like. And once you've found the genres that you really like, then you can start dipping into some new ones and figure out if you like those or not. If you're new to reading, you might get drawn to big words like Shakespeare and Tolstoy. Let me tell you, if you start your reading journey with Shakespeare, there's a really high probability that you'll never come back to reading. Yeah, classics can slow you down. They are dense and they can slow you down, and then you'll be stuck with one book for an entire month or two, depending on the length and the density of the text. And it might just put you off of reading forever. So that brings me to the third point, and that is that do not be afraid to DNF books. What is DNFing books? DNFing a book means to not finish the book. I am guilty of being that one person who used to be so afraid of DNFing a book because I used to consider it a failure on my part. But now I know that, I might not like every book that others like. I usually am a person who does not like bestsellers, who does not like some of the most popular books out there. And it's totally fine to be that odd person who is not liking the book. and not finishing it, because there are so many books out there, and if you spend too much time on one book, you might miss out on some really good ones out there. So don't be afraid to not finish books, DNF them, and move on to another book. If you find yourself not wanting to go back to the book and read more of it, it means it's time to let go of the book. And the next tip I have for you is to carve out time to read daily, every day, and there is no way around it. You just have to fit reading into your routine. What works for me is reading before bedtime. I always end my day with a good book. And I also sometimes, not always, start my day with reading. So you can start small. You can start with 15 minutes before bed. If you're too tired to read at night, you can maybe set aside 15 minutes to read in the morning. You know, it really depends on whether you are a morning person or a night owl. I truly believe in the 21-day habit forming method. If you don't know what that is, it means that if you read for 21 days straight, I mean 21 days in a row, you will automatically want to read on the 22nd day and every day after that. It's just something that has worked for me so many times. And I know this method has been debunked and is considered a myth, but it has really worked for me, and you might want to give it a try. I have been reading at night for so many years now that it has almost become second nature to me, and I just cannot do without reading. Next tip is to read different types of books. If you have set a goal of reading 100 books this year and you read really chunky books, there's a high possibility that you might not achieve your goal. So contemporary books, children's books, picture books, middle grade books, contemporary romances are something that I can finish in a day. So they are really easy to fly through and to finish. When you start reading those like smaller fiction, easy books, and then you see your reading count go up, it will automatically motivate you to read more. And the thing is that the more you read, the faster you will start reading books, and you will eventually develop a method, your own method of reading books that will help you to read more. The last tip I have for you guys to read more is to read with someone. There are so many benefits of reading with someone. It's an entirely different experience. And what is really great about reading with someone is that you will find their interpretation of the story might be completely different than what your interpretation is. Yeah, so it's like going to watch movies with your friends and then talking about it, discussing about it later. You can try to read books that you're struggling to finish, but you really want to finish. It will motivate you to read and get through books. So those are some of the things that have worked for me in the last few years. And always remember, it doesn't matter how many books you read. Sometimes you have to prioritize quality over quantity, and the key thing is to always enjoy books that you're reading. I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you so much for being here, for watching this video, and please like the video and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.